Alright guys, we're going to start assembling our transmission. Now hopefully you paid attention through the other videos to how to do the secondary pulley, the primary pulley, the oil pump, the valve body, the forward clutch, how to rebuild all those. If you missed those parts, you're going to be putting this transmission back together and there's going to be a possibility of it failing. So definitely watch those videos. There will be a link in the description. Well, a link to all the videos in the description. Alright, the first thing you want to do on this is make sure you have your transmission goo. If you don't have it by now, check out the link in the description below. There will be a link to this. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get you a pick. A link to a good set of picks will be in the description below. Make sure you have cleaned your cover. The next step is to take your pick and you got a sealing ring right here. Now your transmission may be a little different. It might have 2 sealing rings. Just make sure you change both of them. And that's all you do is pick them out. And just like we did the forward clutch, it's got an opening in there. You want to take those up and I want you to look at how those two go together. Make sure they interlock with each other. The next thing you want to do is take you some, this gets a little messy right here. Put you some gloves on. Okay, you want to get your new seal, get your goo. You want to take it, just put a little bit on the shaft, so when you put it in there, it sticks in there. Then you want to take some and put it on the seal. Now, you want to open this up. Now, this is plastic, so it can break. So you just want to open it up just enough to get it over that post. Get it over it. Make sure the 2 grooves lock into place. Put some more. And don't be cheesy with the goo. Put some up there. The next thing you want to do, you want to take your shim. You better have a shim. Now you're going to have 2 spots where this shim can go. It's not going to fit in there. So don't even try it. It will fit in this one though. But to make sure this stays into place, again, get your goo, put it on the shim, and that's going to help that stay into place. And if you want, you can put some down there as well, but you don't really need to. And put that into place and push it down. And if you want, you can add more to it. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, the next thing I need you to do is grab your primary and secondary pulleys. Now, before we do anything, before you're going to do is bring these together. I need to show you something here. You know what, since you're looking at this from the opposite side, because this part, guys, is super important. Your push belt, you just can't throw this push belt on. This push belt has a certain rotation, and actually on it you see the arrows, but that's the wrong rotation right now. So you know what I'm going to do is come over your side, just like you're looking at it, and we're looking at this together. So when these pulleys are set inside the cover, your primary is going to be over here, your secondary is going to be here. The primary rotates clockwise, so that arrow has to go clockwise. Okay, so if you're looking at it like that, if that primary is on your right side, that belt has to go in that direction. I'm telling you that now because when I go, we're going to be looking at this on the opposite side, and I don't need you putting this belt in backwards. Also, here's another indication in case you're reusing your old belt, and you got no business doing that. This is why this job is so much better if you do it yourself instead of a transmission place. Because if a transmission place, if they even second guess something might be good, they're going to put it back in your car. So they might reuse your belt. A lot of parts we did on this, they would reuse it. And you're only getting like a year warranty. So here we go. If you're reusing your belt, you're going to have your arrow, right? Mm-hmm. So, do I put it on like this now?
No.
Exactly. I gotta put it on like this. Now you said, Tim, what if my marks are wrong? If your belt is on right and you're facing this way, look at each of those links. And they look like the letter P.
Okay.
You see how it's skinny right there, and then it seems like a little P? I need you to see it so that I know.
I can see what you're saying, but I guess you could say that looks like a little P.
All right, but if you turn that belt over,
It looks like a little,
or whatever,
backwards.
a backwards P. You want to make sure that from your angle, those from right there like that on the top, that looks like a P. Alright, so let's get this set up. You're going to need one of your stainless steel tie straps from a previous video. If you haven't paid attention to that, there's going to be a link in the description below for these. You're also going to need your 3 jaw pullers. There's a link to the set of these in the description below. You're going to need your 8-inch. I hope, guys, you know, man, I'm telling you, if you passed them other videos and you're wondering what's going on now, don't do this job.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions either, because we went over all this. Alright, so you're going to need that also, because what we're going to need to do is we're going to put our belt on. This pulley, we're not worried about. That one can move. This one can move. The belt's going to go on this. This one has that 400-pound, foot-pound spring in there, so we have to bring this up or that belt will not set in there. Alright? So, let's put this to the side and get our 3-jaw puller. Hook it up. Just all the way down till all 3 locks into place. Turn it just a little bit. Get our metal tie strap. Now, you might not have to use a tie strap, but use a tie strap. And this way, these things hold this thing into place. Matter of fact, let me go on that, put it around that way so you can see it.
So this thing isn't going to like pop out because of the fact that it's all put together?
It's all put together. You got the nut there and everything. Everything is good. And you're not going to be, you're not pressing, you're going to be picking this pulley up until you just feel the tension where it stops. That's it.
Right.
So let's get this in here. Let's secure it. Okay, we're going to bend that back. And that's going to lock it into place. Then, take it. And you're going to keep turning it. And if you look carefully, you can actually see the piston picking up. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna go in. That just might be enough right there. I didn't even go all the way. That's probably good enough. Wait, you know what? Let me go a little bit more. Okay, put it this way, guys. Go till it just feel tension. Just till you feel a little tension on it. And I am good. I got my straps into place, and actually, Look, my strap is not even really doing anything, but as an added security, just gonna leave that there. All right, take your wrench off, your ratchet off, and now you're gonna put your belt on. You can lay this down, and just in case this pops loose, do not stick your fingers in there. All right, so we're gonna lay this down, lay both of them down. Take our belt and put it on. So make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah. All right, put it on this one. Okay. And let's put it on this one. Okay, it's on both pulleys now. Just try to bring it evenly so you don't twist that belt too much. And dang, you know what? I just put that belt on wrong. See that?
Right.
See that, guys? It's so easy to mess that up, man. That's why I looked at it again. So I got to sit here and take this back off. Put this belt back on the right way. That's, guys, it is so easy to mess that up. All right, there we go. Now let's turn it, and there we go. There's our arrow. This is turning clockwise. It is in place. That is cool. Now, guys, the next part I'm about to show you is super important because a lot of rebuilders will show you how to put these into the side cover, and then it'd be all messed up because you can't get to the line these up to the bolt holes. I'm gonna show you a nice, easy way of doing that. All right. All right. Now, when we install these pulleys into the side cover, you got the 3 mounting holes that goes in there. So when you set this thing down there, how are you going to see? You got to try reaching in and put them things and turn them to line up. Here's a nice easy way. You want to get you 2 bolts, and roughly about 4 inches in length, 8 millimeter by 1.25 thread pitch. Cut the heads off. Then take each bolt, put one over here on the primary and one on the secondary. Yeah, you see what I'm doing. And that way, when you go to put this on, you can use that as an alignment. All right, guys, we are ready to install this in the side cover. All right, guys, now here's the fun part. What I'm gonna do is turn this cover, because I want you to look at this like you're doing it. Now we're gonna pick up our assembly, keeping our belt on it. Your bolts that you put in there, it doesn't matter which hole they go in, but you're just gonna use them as alignment. Pick the whole assembly up, bring it over to your cover, put the bolts in, and you'll feel it drop down. Okay, that one went down. Now for your primary, get that one to go. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure this one's out of my way. Okay. Make sure your primary gets down in there. Okay. It's down. All right, now let's prepare our bolts for this. Alright guys, you got your 6 bolts going into your 2 variator pulleys. These bolts, each of them will have washers on them. O-rings. Take each of the O-rings off, and your kit's going to have new ones to go in there. So, now, if your transmission did not have the bolts, did not have the O-rings on them, you must use sealant, some gasket maker. Don't use no silicone, use gasket maker, the grade high temp gasket maker, or this transmission will leak from that side. So let's get all of our O-rings off of the old bolts. Alright guys, we got our old O-rings off. Now we're going to take our new ones and just bring them down to the bottom. And these bolts, if you look carefully, there's an actual little groove inside there where that O-ring sets right down the bottom.
I can't really get it.
It's that little ring inside.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
Alright, so it's going to set right in there. Alright, let's get all of them on there. Alright guys, next thing we do is lean your assembly over to the side. Keep your studs in there. And what you want to do is take a bolt. Now, how are you going to see this? I have no idea. But what you want to do here is look in there to make sure the bolt hole is lined up. If not, take a little pick and get that lined up in there. Let me see if it's lined up. No, it's not lined up. That felt like it went down. Let me try one up here. Okay, that's one.
That one you have to pick it up. The one you were just at.
Oh, you see it down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I got these lined up. So, then I got two of them in there. So let's take this alignment bolt out. Get us a bolt in there.
But I don't understand. If the alignment bolt is in there, why isn't it lined up?
Because it's not stationary and can just swivel. It actually is on the pulley. It can move. I wish I had the whole one to show you what I'm talking about. But alright, now you said this one is what?
The hole looked like it was a little bit lower than where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it sucks because we can't. You can see in here?
Yeah. Can you bring it up a little more?
Actually, let me see if I can. Nope, I can't even move it back here.
Yeah.
I did?
You passed it. It might be. Maybe.
Cool, got it. Let's get this one in. And now that we got those in, let's take our alignment bolt out. Figures.
And some pliers. You're welcome.
I was getting to them anyway.
Right.
Alright guys, we got them started. Let's get us a socket and get ready to bring them in. Alright guys, now we're going to take us a socket. I'm using a 12mm socket. Yours might be different size, but still good a socket. Now what you're going to do is, actually I'm going to take my hand and finger tight all three bolts and just keep going around, because you want to make sure you bringing that pulley in evenly, and you're going to do it on the other one as well. Alright, so let's do this side. Let's get both sides till they're all snug and tight. Now check it out. When you're doing one, like you bring this one down, if this thing is crooked, this one's going to be loose. So then you're going to bring it down till it stops, till you feel a little pressure on it. And then if you go back to this one, look at that. It's got loose again. That means I'm bringing that bearing down in there. So, and just till it snugs up. Just want all three snugged up at the same time. Alright, so let's get that done. Alright guys, we got them all snugged down perfectly. I know this thing is going to be great. This is a good time to pick it up and make sure, check it out, the arrow's going that way because it was facing you. If it was down like this, the primary turns clockwise, so the belt, that arrow, should be going that way. If you're looking at us right there. Alright, so now we're going to pick this back up. Now we're going to torque these 6 bolts down. You're going to torque them down to 17 foot-pounds.
23 Newton meters.
23 Newton meters, yeah, buddy. Alright, so let's set this down now. Now I can set it on the tool because I'm not worried about everything. And let's torque those down. Alright guys, we got those torqued down. Let's set our assembly up. Now you're going to be releasing your tool. And be careful, just make sure your tool is not going to interfere with that belt. You're gonna need something to cut this strap with. This ain't gonna do it, is it?
Don't those green ones have?
Look at Sylvia know my tools.
They're good cutters.
See, that's what happens when you get stuff from Harbor Freight. Yeah, buddy. Alright, guys, let me go get a cutter. Alright, still got a Harbor Freight tool, but at least it's the cutters. Alright. Like that. Alright. Now you should be able to take your, you might want to take your primary and spin this, and everything should spin freely.
How'd you go in the wrong way?
It should go either way.
Oh.
Alright, so that is spinning pretty freely. Now let me stop. You guys are funny. Alright, check it out. Check it out. Yeah, buddy. Look at that thing spin. Alright. Ooh. That look good, Sippy?
Yep.
Alright, guys. This is what you want to take your rag and go around the cover right here and make sure that's nice and clean and dry. Alright guys, the next thing you're going to do is take these 3 parts right here. You have your guide pin, you're going to have your pulley follower, and you're going to have your spring. Alright, now let's turn this. Here's your main pulley. You're going to be working with this hole right there. Right there, Sippy. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is set your spring down in place. Now you're going to notice your spring looks like that. One end is going to look like that. One end is going to have like a cup. The cup faces up towards you. You want to set it down just like that. Now, on your follower, you want to check your follower for any wear and tear. If it's grinded up or anything. And surprisingly, this one is good, being that, well, like, yeah, but I guess it's the pulley was still in place. So this is what you're going to do. This part right here, this sheave pulley, it's got to set right inside there. So what you're going to do is, and also this spring will set, this cup part sets right in there just like that. So I'm gonna put that down, line that up. Can you see good? Now you're gonna put this in the spring, you're gonna push it down and get it under the lip of that sheave pulley. So I'm gonna put it down like that, push it down, get it right up under it just like that. Once you get that in there, take your guide pin, you're gonna put it through here all the way down through the spring and into that hole in the case. Yeah, as you can see, I'm having a little. Now it should go in pretty easy. There we go. So it is now in. And that's all that is a guide. Follow for that that sheep pulley. That is looking great, guys. Look at that, man. Oh yeah, buddy. Man, this is good. Alright, what's next? I don't know. Alright, the next thing you're gonna do, guys, is take this whole assembly and put it to the side. Because next you're gonna get your main case. Alright, that's the main case. The case that's gonna go over this. Alright, let's get all this cleaned up, put this to the side, and let's get our case. Alright guys, we got our main cover. We have our side cover over here with the pulleys and all. Now, on your main cover, you're going to see an O-ring right there. Or you might not see one. I made sure that was in there when we took all this whole job apart. You want to pop that O-ring out. Find the new one inside your kit. But first, you want to take some goo. Because you're going to be turning this case upside down. So you want to put some goo there. Put your O-ring into place. Make sure it sets down in there. And you want to put some more goo on it. Clean that out a little bit. Okay. Now, the next thing you're gonna do, guys, is now sometimes I hate saying things because I've seen some transmission jobs when you have a bunch of silicone all on the outside squeezing out because they put too much silicone here. When you took the job apart, when you took it apart, you didn't notice no silicone, did you? No, you don't need it. So don't put that in there. Because don't put a bunch in it, because what's going to happen is that's going to squeeze over into the transmission, and you don't want that. You're going to put a very, very thin layer of gasket maker. Don't even use silicone. Use gasket maker. That stuff is so much better. Very thin layer going around this case. Now I'm not going to do that now because, you know, also you want to make sure it's cleaned up and all. I'm not going to do that yet because I need to point out some things to you. Once we put this silicone on, we're going to be flipping this case over and
gasket maker.
Once we put the gasket maker on and flipping this case over onto here, there's 3 important things you got to know. 1, our parking oil. Let's put this in park. We got to make sure that that lines up right there. Now, how does that work? This transmission is spinning, it's in neutral. That piece will stick in there, push this arm out, that little arm right there. So right now the car's in neutral, right? So you put it in park. The parking oil goes in there, lock the transmission up. Can't move. You got to make sure that's in there. Number 1, make sure you got the goo or it's O-ring, because when you turn it upside down, you don't want that O-ring to come out, and that O-ring is going to set right on top of here. That's the second thing. The last and final one, you got your pin right here, your alignment pin for your pulley follower. You got to make sure that's going to go right here. That's going to go straight down into here. So make sure it doesn't hit the case. It's going to go down into there and right into that hole right there. So those 3 things you got to be careful of when you putting this back together. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to walk you through it. So if I have a problem, then that means you're going to have a problem. Alright, first of all, reach over there. Guys, this stuff is great. Matter of fact, guys, anytime you do a job, matter of fact, any kind of silicone that you got, blue, red, black, whatever, throw it out. Throw it in the garbage. It's junk. Don't even use it no more. Always use this. This is gasket. This is Optimum Gasket Makeup by Permatex. This stuff is good for up to 700 degrees. It is fabulous. So you definitely want to use this. And what you so funny? We're gonna put a link in the description below to get this. Guys, I'm telling you, don't ever tell me you used red or the other silicone. Don't use it. Use this stuff from now on. Alright, so what you're gonna do is make sure you're all ready before you do this. This stuff takes a while to dry, so
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's the question?
So you said you're gonna pick up that big cover and put it over the little one. So it's not easy to just pick up the other one?
No, that is a lot heavier than this.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I know, but the thing is, since that one's smaller,
I dig what you're saying.
Would it be easier to see where you're going?
I don't know. That's heavy. Okay. This one you can move around. You can finagle this one. Guys, y'all want to try that if you want. You can try it if you want, but I'll be warned. I told you. All right. So what you're gonna do is don't use that little tube, that little thing they got going with it, and cut it. Don't. That's all you want to do is take this and squeeze as you're going out. Very thin layer. Look at it. Just that thin, guys. And actually, right there might be a little bit too much. Very thin. Okay. Let's go around the whole thing and put that layer down. Alright guys, we got it down, and you know some spots I got a little gooby gob right there. So that's all you're gonna do. Get you use this old rag. And then you're gonna take your
not old rag.
Good. You can take your finger and you can just spread it out.
Oh, messy.
So this thing is like precise, man. You can get it around there, wipe that off. Go around. You don't have to go above this way, just under there. Yeah, buddy. Make sure I get right there. Alright, that looks good. Let's wipe my hands off. Alright guys, here we go. Now remember, it's good to have 2 people doing this part right here, because you want to make sure that you get all that lined up. And it's good to do this maybe on a table. But you're good. Alright. Let me put some gloves on, guys, and we're gonna set this down together. Alright guys, we are ready. Let's take our cover. Looking for right there. Find me an alignment plate to go on. Now, I know I'm not lined up everywhere, but I can't see everything. So we'll go around. The parking all is not into place. So off. Because our pin came right out of there. Get this pin back down there. Okay, there we go. Our parking oil did not go into place. So here we go. Let's get this down into place again. Let's try this again. And be careful getting the cover off of that. Matter of fact, let's turn that way so you can see that, because that's important. So maybe we can. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, with our alignment mark. As we go down, let me get my parking oil over here. Oops. Okay, I got that into place. Is our pin over there lining up?
No.
The pin.
No. Bring the cover there.
Right there?
There.
Okay. Now, if you can look right down into here, you can see our parking oil is down there where it's supposed to be. Alright, so far everything is good. Make sure our pin over here, yeah, that's going in there. Alright, now let's why won't this thing go down? Oh, come on, crooked or something. Man, look at this, man. I got some stuff on. So I gotta take this off. But our case went down. Parking oil is into place. Everything is good. Keep that there. And let me change my gloves and let's go get our bolt so we can hold this thing together. Alright guys, we got that on. The next thing you do is grab your 19, you're gonna have 19 bolts for your side cover going into your main cover. Now, in this you're gonna have 2 bolts that's gonna be different than all the rest. I can easily pick them out because I know the shank on them. That little part right there, that space. There's the only 2 that's going to be like that. Or there's going to be in the center of those 2, it's going to be a dot. It's going to be completely different than the rest of them. So take your 2 bolts. You're looking at your side cover right here. Now, if you can flip this over without that thing coming apart, more power to you. Or what you want to do is you're looking at the cover, looking at the whole transmission like this. Pick up on the cover, pick up on the transmission, and 2 bolts right here. That's where you're going to take the 2 and bring them in. Now what I want you to do is take a socket or something and bring them in. They turn in pretty easy, or you can just do one. Bring it in until it stops. Then what I want you to do is turn it right to the other side, grab 2 bolts, any 2, and either one, it doesn't matter, put those into there. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because now your transmission is together. So now You can take your transmission and turn it over. Okay, now that you got that, let's finish putting the rest of the bolts around the cover. Alright guys, we got all the bolts in. Now we're going to tighten all the bolts down to 33 foot-pounds.
Or 45 Newton meters.
45 Newton meters, yeah buddy. Now, you don't have, what I like to do guys, if, I don't want to try to confuse you or nothing, but okay, you got a locating pin right here. Then right on the opposite side, you got another locating pin. So what I want you to do is, instead of tightening up the cover going like this, I want you to cross it out. It's a cross pattern. So you can go one, and then right on it after the locating pin, and then you're going to go two right after the locating pin, and then back and forth and keep going to next each one, and that way the cover is going down even. All right. So let's get those bolts torqued down, and then move on. All right, guys, we're down to our last bolt here. All right, man. All right, that is done. The next thing we're gonna do, guys, is clear your area out and flip your transmission back over. All right, guys, the next thing you're gonna install is your reverse brake piston right here. But we're not gonna be installing this. Now, this is in not that bad of a condition, but and just like I said, you know, if this was at a transmission shop, they clean this up and throw this in there. Which, I mean, if it's still good, hey, why mess with it? But we're not gonna do that. This is our transmission, or this is actually gonna be a customer, whoever buys this Jeep. It's gonna be their transmission. So we wanna make sure everything in here is brand new. So we got us a brand new reverse brake piston, yeah buddy. All right, check it out. Now, very important guys, the bottom of this, if you notice, the lip sticks out. So now this is going to go down into your case right here, and it's going to go onto this section right here. So you want to make sure that when you put that down, that lip doesn't flip in or it will leak. So grab your goo. You got to get you a lot of goo on this, guys. Make sure everything's good. And what you want to do is get you either a butter knife or something that doesn't have a sharp edge to it, or I'm going to use a feeler gauge, and then what I'm going to do is just work my way around and make sure that piston goes down there. The first thing to do, guys, take your goo. You want to lubricate all around the sides and inside here. So let's get that lubricated. All right, guys, we got that done. Now I'm just going to go in here and go around the edge right here, just to help me out as well. I mean, put enough of this, you might not even need to use the seal, use the installer. Dang, that didn't work. What the heck, man? So, down there, all around that edge. Alright, then you're going to take your reverse brake piston, put it in there, just push it down a little bit, take your feeler gauge, and you just want to make sure that as you're pushing down, that seal is going around. Just like that. Work your way around. Then push it down. You heard the way they go down there? Yeah, buddy, man. Look at that. Look at that. Man, this transmission is gonna be like zoom zoom. I think it's a Mazda. Yeah, buddy. Alright, let's throw this in the garbage, or you reusing it, I don't know. But I'm gonna throw this in the garbage and let's move on to our next parts. Alright guys, now we're gonna return Now we're gonna install our return piston spring assembly. Now it's gonna have 4 sides, and each side is gonna have 4 springs.
4?
6, I'm sorry. 6 springs. I don't know what the heck wrong with me, man. Sylvia got me befuddled over here. Alright, and on your reverse piston, there's gonna be, you're gonna see where they line up. There's gonna be 6 posts on the 4 corners. So you wanna bring that down. Make sure all of them are lined up onto it, and it's in place. And if you want, guys, just in case you might think, well, something gonna go wrong here, I don't know. You can take some little goo. Take a little goo. Put it on the springs. So in case you ain't worried about it jumping up out there when you go to use the tool, right? So just put a little goo on it. Alright, now let's set it down there. Make sure all of them are on and into place. Look at that. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, the next thing you're gonna do is take your retainer plate and take a notice of how this looks. If you got your parts all out of the way, big ring is gonna go onto that. It's gonna have 3 little tabs sticking out of it. 1 tab is gonna have a little notch in it. Now what you want to do is, looking at the, let's go, I'm going to turn this right here. So it's like you're looking at the transmission. I got a block of wood holding this up, by the way. Now, so if you're looking at the transmission right now on the table, this is your 12 o'clock right there. That V-notch is going to line up with that. Set that in there. Now you try to set it in any other way, it's not gonna go in there. So set that in, and it's down. Now what you're gonna do now is align our brake piston up to this. If you can see, like our spring retainer down there. You can see a part of it sticking out right there, a little opening. So this is not lined up. So what we need to do is turn it back. You want that centered everywhere on that ring, or as close as possible. That looks good right there. That has to be so it can. So when you put this down, push this down, it's got to go even. It can't be in a spot where it's all gonna be messed up and not lined up. All right, now let's get another tool we need to push this down. All right, guys, the next thing we need to do is push down our reverse brake piston spring right here. The spring, we gotta push all this down and install our snap ring. Now, in this whole setup and the rest of your parts, you're gonna have 2 snap rings. If you look at these snap rings, one is thicker than the other. Both of these are going to go right here, but you're going to be picking up using the thin one. Alright, now for doing this, you're going to need a special tool. I'm going to put a link in the description below on the tool to use to do this. Now, this tool, you got to be very careful because this is actually 2 tools. This one right here, well, let me just show you guys. What the heck, man? Alright, the first tool you're going to need. What? Oh, yeah. First tool you're going to get is this right here. The kit you're going to get, one of the links, is this tool right here. And it's going to come with this cross right here. But this cross is too little. So you got to buy this other tool right here. And this is going to fit in there, and it's going to touch on that ring and push that ring down. Now you notice you got to be very careful because it can come off. The reason why they didn't make it big enough is because you can have room to get your snap ring into place. Now let's set the tool up. If you notice on our case, now if you're facing the case to the bottom, the transmission pan goes down here. The case is, you're looking at the transmission. I marked 2 holes on the case. Take the big bar, One side is going to have 3 holes, one side is going to have 1. Put it into place. 1, 2, just like that. Get 2 bolts that holds down for this case. Get 2 bolts. Get some washers. And put one right there. And the other one right here. Just bring them down just a little bit. Next you're going to do is take the big cross, put it into the case and on the ring into place. Take the long bolt and you're going to screw this bolt down till it barely comes into contact with that. So let's get that done. Alright, I got it down there. Now I want to center my cross. Try to make it even on both sides. Bring this down. Make sure it's centered inside the little indentation. Sorry, you're going to hit my... Make sure it's centered inside there. Once you got that, hold this into place and then just tighten up on 2 bolts. Now what you're going to do is, that's close, man. That is close over there. I ain't liking that. You know what, let me loosen this up. Still off over here. Because this, they should have made that hole a little bit bigger, because that's, yeah, that's bringing this. Okay, let's try this. I'm hoping it holds on over to here. I tighten this up. Biscuit.
How far do you have to go?
Till I see a groove. Right now, it ain't nowhere to be seen.
Oh, I see it.
Huh?
I see it. I see the groove.
Problem is, I don't see it on the other side. So. Oh, wait a minute. I think I see it. Let's go a little bit more. Watch it. Ping!
Maybe a little more?
Huh?
Maybe enough room?
No, it's good. Let's try it. Let's try to get that in. Get that ring in there.
It can go either way?
Yep. Went into the top groove over here. There we go. Okay, make sure it's all the way around into the groove. And see, I'm not liking, look, you see that right there, guys? See how the clip is, the ouchie out's touching like this out here?
Oh, okay.
See, I'm not liking that. So I want that. I'm gonna try to turn that a little bit because I don't like. I want that inside there.
That's really out.
Get that even more. Let's see if I can use some needle nose to. There. I don't want it hanging out like that, and actually I might turn it a little bit more. This side is okay because there's a small opening right there, so that one's okay. That one I was worried about. No, that one's still. I need to turn that a little bit more. So let's use. That right there. Make sure it's all the way around into place in that groove. And then slowly release the tool. And if it's not into place, it will just went boink. Alright, take your tool out. And if you want, you can tap it, go around there like that. Make sure that it's in there, because if it's loose, it'll have popped out. Alright, let's get our tool off of there. Alright guys, before we proceed to our next step, what I need you to do is get you an old container or something. Make sure it's wide enough, because what you're going to do, now this is if you're using new friction plates. Now here's our friction plates and steels. And honestly, it doesn't look like anything's really wrong with them, but just want to be sure that we give somebody a good transmission. We got new ones over here. But either way, we gotta soak these. So either way, these are pretty wet, so you probably don't gotta soak those. But these are brand new, so we need to soak those. So we're gonna set those inside.
And not the steel ones, right? Not
the steel ones. I mean, you can if you want, but you ain't no use in soaking them. Get you some CVT transmission fluid. Pour it in there. You're gonna let them soak for about 10-15 minutes. Say about 15 minutes. And while you're letting those soak, the next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna have your ring. Now here's your 3 new friction steels right here. You're not gonna bother those. Here's your old set. Now your old set, just make sure you got 3 and 3. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, there. Yeah. Wait a minute. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we don't need those no more. So what's left is you're going to have a thick plate and a thinner plate. Take your thin plate. On your thin plate, you're going to have one of the tabs going to have a V-notch on it. Same thing like the other one we put in. That V notch is again going to be at the 12 o'clock position if you're looking at the transmission like you are right there. That would be your 12 o'clock position. Now, you can only put this in one way, because if you try to put it in another way, it won't work. And actually, see, I got it wrong. It's going to go in one way. Also, this plate, it's nothing wrong with it. You're going to, I don't know if you can see it like this, but this, remember the other plate we had that had either way a dish or a cone, and the other one we put in cone down. We let the cone down. This one, the dish. So the dish is gonna be, put it in just like a bowl. Now forget the cone. A bowl. So it's gonna be up. This part's gonna be down, and then it's gonna go up like this. So you're gonna set it down. Put that in. Perfect. The next thing you're gonna do is grab you one of your steel plates. Your steel plates are all the same. Man, that thing like feel like it's stuck together. Okay. Steel plates are all the same. You just gotta sit here and figure out how it goes. And it's flat, so it's no either way. So I got 3 right here. I see 3 right here, 1 right there. Nope, that's wrong. 3 right here, 1 right here. That is right. That's down. Now, we're going to sit here, and what we can do is get these lined up, get these situated, make sure we got them in the correct orientation, and because while those are soaking. So we're going to let those soak for about another 10 more minutes, and then we're going to install. We got the steel down there, then we're going to go friction, steel, friction. We're going to do that together. Alright? Alright guys, got them. Let's bring this over here so we don't cause too much of a mess. Take one of our frictions, lay it right down into place. Take a steel, lay that down.
So the friction ones can go anyway.
Yeah. Then another friction. Get our last steel. Then our last friction. And then once you got that set up, put that out of the way. And now you're gonna have your thick ring. I'm gonna wipe this off it. Alright, let's get that down in there. Okay, that's down into place. And now we got that thick ring, snap ring. Let's clean that off. And let's set that down into place. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to have the opening into this section over here, since it's so there's nothing, so it can go right into place and there's don't mess up nothing. And guys, this thing is coming out great, man. So are you happy?
I'll be happy when it moves.
Oh, it will move. And what I want to do, guys, what I can do here, I can take these and just line them up a little bit. Makes it easy for installation when we get ready to go into the next part. All right. So take all your old frictions and steels, throw them away just in case you finish the job and be like, All right. Let's move on. Alright guys, now we're going to install our number 4 needle bearing and our planet carrier. Now, hopefully, when you took this job apart, you followed our video and put everything in a party line, because you'll notice this one is next. The reason why I'm telling you that, because inside, there's another bearing. So you got to make sure which one are you using. And the number 4, the ring, the inner ring right here, is copper. Well, it might be not made of copper, but it looks that color, and this one's not. So this is the one you're going to need. Now what you're going to do is this side, now this side is all silver, this side is copper. That copper side is going to face down. So you turn it like that, set it down in there, just like that. Perfect. Now you're going to take your planet carrier, and we're going to set the planet carrier down. Now you got all these ridges going around. Those got to insert into those friction discs, all three. So that's why last time, a little while ago, I made sure they're all lined up. And that's all you want to do is take it and set it down. Ooh, yeah, 40. Look at that. Ah! Alright. Alright guys, go to your party line, and what you're going to do is get your forward clutch drum. That's this piece right here. Now, again, if you follow the party line, you're going to have two of these with it. Bearing number 3 and bearing number 2. Now, bearing number 4, 3, and 2 are the same, but they're different than this one over here. So make sure you got the ones with the copper on it. Alright, so take one of the bearings. Bearing side, face it down onto there. And if you want, guys, check this out, I'm going to do this a little better than that right there. What I'm going to do is take a little transmission glue, because this bearing sits inside there. So what we're going to do here is take a little glue. Oops. Put it on the forward clutch drum. And that way we know it's going to stay there. Push it in, place it in there like this. It's going to stick. Take the whole assembly and onto the splines, into the gears, and done. Look at it, look at it. Gear 40, that car's ready to go. Alright. Then you're going to take your other bearing, and you don't have to, because it sets inside a recess right here. You don't have to put no glue on it or nothing, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case if I move the transmission, I don't want this to come out of place. And you're going to set this like that. Alright guys, now we're ready to install our forward clutch. Now your forward clutch, the friction discs inside there, they're going to go line up with the grooves on the outside of the forward clutch drum. What you can do is take you a pick, and I'll put this in the link in the description below. You just want to line up those discs as much as you can. Then you want to turn it upside down, and you're not gonna drop it in there. You're gonna, because you want to make sure it indexes those friction discs. Until it goes in there. And I might be in there, but what I'm gonna do is pick it up again, turn it over, and I'm looking at my clutches, my discs in there, make sure all of them are lined up. It looks like it's pretty much lined up. So it looks like I was in. And I'm going to go back.